Shri Yadirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchitsugastharupaya Swamine Tabaini. Namaste to all. Today I am going to tell you an incident from Swami Vivekananda's life during his journey as a wandering monk. In 1888, during Swamiji's journey to northern India, after his pilgrimage to Vrindavan, the Swami had a mind to go to Haridwar and from there to Kedar Badri in the Himalayas. But he remained at Vrindavan a few days more, since one of his brother disciples, Advaitananda, was accepted there. One day, Swami, seated in a secluded corner of Hathras railway station, on his way to Haridwar, evidently rather weary and in need of food. His figure caught the eye of the assistant station master, Sharathchandra Gupta. As the latter was attending to his duties, now the Sharathchandra was a remarkable person. His character could be summed up in 3 words: sweetness, sincerity, and manliness. At first sight, he was attracted by the appearance of the young monk, and he was attracted by and could sense the aura of spirituality about him. So Sharath went up to him to find out whether he could be of service. After an exchange of greetings, Sharath asked, "Swamiji, are you hungry?" The Swami replied, "Yes, I am." "Then please come to my quarters," said Sharath. The Swami asked with the simplicity of a boy, "But what will you give me to eat?" Promptly quoting from a Persian poem, Sharath replied, "Oh beloved, you have come to my house. I shall prepare the most delicious dish for you with the flesh of my heart." The Swami was delighted to hear this reply and accepted the invitation. When the tasks of the day were over, Sharath spent the time with the Swami, whose eyes attracted him beyond the measure. He begged him to stay in Hathras for some more days. Sharath's first words almost were, "Sir, teach me wisdom." The Swami answered with a Bengali song in which the loved one says to her lover, "If you wish to attain knowledge, go and cover your moon face with ashes. Otherwise, find your own way." Sharath immediately replied, "Swamiji, I am at your service. I am ready to renounce everything and follow you." Saying these words, he disappeared to turn divested of his official clothes with ashes on his face. Sharath's elder brother was already a sannyasi, so this was not something quite new for him. One day, Sharath asked the Swami, "Why do you look so sad?" After a pause, the Swami replied, "My son, I have a great mission to fulfill, and I am in despair at the smallness of my capacity. I have an injunction from my Guru to carry out this mission. It is nothing less than the regeneration of my motherland. The spirituality has fallen to a low ebb and starvation stalks the land. India must become dynamic and effect the conquest of the world through her spirituality." Sharath, spellbound at these words, said with all the order of his soul, "Here I am, Swamiji. What do you want me to do?" The monk demanded, "Are you prepared to take up the begging bowl and the kamandalu and work for the great cause? Can you beg from door to door?" "Yes," was the bold reply. The Swami was greatly pleased to see the courage and determination of Sharath. He spent many days at Sharath's house, speaking to groups of devotees and admirers. One morning, the Swami decided to leave Hathras. He said to Sharath, "I cannot stay here longer. I am a sannyasi and should never remain long in any one place. Besides, I am feeling a sort of attachment for you all. This is also a bondage in spiritual life." To attempts to dissuade him, he only replied, "Don't press me." Sharath became grief-stricken. He had fallen in love with the Swami. "Swamiji, make me your disciple," was his entreaty. The Swami replied, "Why do you not think that everything in spiritual life will be gained by becoming my disciple? Remember that God is in everything, and then whatever you do will make for your progress. I shall come and be with you now and then. For the present, I must be going to the Himalayas." Sharath repeated his entreaty time and again, until at length he spoke out, "Swamiji, say what you will. Wherever you go, I shall follow you." Seeing his determination and sincerity, the Swami said, "Can you really follow me? Then take my begging bowl and go and beg our food from our porters of the station." No sooner was the order given than Sharath went to beg from his own subordinates. Having collected some food, he brought it to the Swami, who in turn blessed him heartily and accepted him as his disciple. Sharath soon found a substitute to take over his duties and accompanied the Swami to Rishikesh. But the journey proved too much for the disciple. Accustomed to a good deal of comfort, he found the sannyasi's life was one of the constant spiritual discipline and full of uncertainties and hardships. Once in our wanderings in the outlying districts of Himalayas, said Sharath much later, I fainted with hunger and thirst. The Swami carried me and thus undoubtedly saved me from certain death. On another occasion, like a size, he led the horse which someone has kindly lent us for the journey across a mountain river which was very dangerous to ford because of his swiftness and slippery bottom. He risks his life several times for my sake. How can I describe him? Friends, except by the word love, 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 when I was too ill to do anything but stagger along, he carried my personal belongings, including my shoes. It is not strange then that in later life, feeling forlorn once and asking the Swami whether he was going to give him Sharath up, the Swami should answer with a sweet suavity, "Fool, do you not remember that I have even carried even your shoes?"